Oh, yeah. Thank you, sir.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driver the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
When Bentley was small, we noticed that there were several different things that he was doing differently. When doctors and specialists continue to tell you what is wrong with your child, you are in such a dark place. The therapists at UCP are amazing. They brought inspiration, they brought hope. Bentley has a fantastic relationship with UCP. And if we can continue this together, Bentley will be unstoppable.
Welcome, race fans, men and women, boys and girls of all ages, to the Domino's TYJ Racing Premier Xfinity Scoops Ice Cream 200 live here at Daytona International Speedway. We've got 200 miles coming at you fast and furious. We're broadcast live on All Pro Broadcasting. Make sure you click the subscribe button so you get all of the notifications for the free pizza giveaway, which we'll go over in just a few minutes. My name is Robert McFarland. Michael D'Amico is running all the cameras tonight, and you will be amazed. I repeat, you will be amazed at what you see tonight. We do have Crank It Up. We do have the Domino's TYJ Racing free pizza giveaway, which we'll give you details to in just a few minutes. This is the second trip for these Premier Xfinity drivers to return to the Daytona International Speedway. This is our summer night race. It is a little bit shorter than the spring race, but it is absolutely going to be super exciting. These drivers, these cars have got a couple of adjustments to them, so they're going to have their hands full for all 80 laps and 200 miles. Speaking of that real quick, I will give you a couple of details on how you can win the free large 3-topping Domino's pizza. It is pretty simple, friends. And yes, we do call you friends if you're watching tonight. Before halfway tonight, which will be lap 40, we do ask you to let us know who you pick to be the winner. We ask you to pick only one driver, not two, not three, not after lap 35 when your driver is wrecked out, you pick another one. Wait and pick one driver only. If you send me 3-4 picks, I cannot honor any of them. So by lap 40, which is the halfway point, we do ask you to pick who you think is going to win this race at the end of the night. So the first fan who accurately picks the winner of this race by halfway, which will be lap 40, that fan will win a free large 3-topping Domino's pizza, carry out only. We do not drive it to you in the Xfinity cars or the dented fender truck or the top shelf cup car. I don't even bring it to you in my mail truck personal, which is actually the government's. So you do have to go to the store anywhere in the United States of America to pick up your free pizza. We've given away about 35 of these pizzas so far in 2017, and we are super excited for you to be the fan to win that pizza tonight. It's not easy. It's going to take a lot of strategy, a lot of education on your part to see who's fast at the beginning of the race, and to wait and see who does or does not get wrecked out. There could be 1 or 2 or 3 cautions before lap 40, so you definitely want to monitor the situation and see exactly who looks like they might win. And even then, here at Daytona, I hate to say it, but it's going to be a crapshoot who wins the race, because you all know anything can happen here at Daytona. We can have our last place guy in the points win this race tonight. We can have the leader in the points come up and win it as well. So right now, as far as practice speeds, we've got a lot of fast guys, and I will go over who's fast right now. Qualifying, these guys do get 2 laps, so this first lap is not exactly going to be the fastest, but we do have the 58 machine of William E. Moore. He was 3rd in practice. Right now he's on the pole with a 49.406 lap time. As you fans watch these drivers come around this track, they're getting up to speed here, 179, 180, 185 miles an hour. In the draft, once the race starts here in a few more minutes, these Xfinity cars will be pushing the limits of 190, 195 miles an hour in the draft, and I can guarantee you they're going to be a handful. Again, you are watching the Scoops Old Fashioned Ice Cream of Viera, Florida 200. And we are going to go over our standings here in just a couple of minutes, but first of all, I'm going to give you fans just the opportunity to look at these drivers, take 30 seconds, see who you think might be fast here in practice. I'll be back in about 25 seconds. All right, guys, ladies and gentlemen, you have had a chance to look at these drivers taking their qualifying lap. We do have a little bit more time. We are going to go over the standings now. As we speak, before this race even gets the green flag, here are our top 10 in standings in points. We have very famous Gary Sexton, leader in points. He's got 489. He has participated in 15 races. In second in points, we got Nick Reynolds. Third, we have Jack Watts. Fourth, we have Donald Stewart. Fifth, we have Curtis Young in that 94 machine. Sixth, we have Josh Bonwell. Seventh, Judd Danielson. Eighth, Jeremy Crandall, who is the sponsor for tonight with that Scoops Ice Cream of Viera, Florida. After him, we have Ray Richer in 9th and James Somke in 10th tonight. Some of these drivers do have wins. We've got Nick Reynolds with 2. We've got Curtis Young with 3. Josh Bowenwell with 1. A couple more drivers further back in the field that do have a win. They're locked in. William Davis is in 18th with a win. We also have Eric Stanford in 20th with a win. Those guys, as long as they're in the top 20, they will make it into the chase. We also have Kyle Kammer with 1 win. He's back in 24, so he does need to make up some ground. As well as, Kyle Kammer. Tim B. Cox has got to win. A few other guys, Joe Johnson, William E. Moore, all those guys have to make up some serious ground to get into the top 35, my bad, in points. It'll be the top 20 that will make it in the chase, which will start here in just a few weeks. And now, we're going to go over our starting grid. Looks like starting on the pole, William E. Moore in that number 58 does have the fastest time so far with a 49.406. In second, we have Mark Jackson. Third place qualifying, we have Gary Sexton, the 17, with a 49.414. Josh Bonwell has qualified 4th. Richard Brose has definitely qualified in the 5th position. Kyle Kammer in 6th. Andrew Kessler, another fast driver, qualified 7th. Qualifying 8th tonight, we have William Davis. 9th, we have Curtis Young. 10th, we have Jeremy Crandall. Great run for him so far qualifying. 11th, we have Jack Watson, that's 66. Joe Johnson in the IRAPS number 83 qualified 12th. 13th, we have Jeff T. Martin. 14th, Tyler Chalk in the 07. Ray Richer qualified 15th in the number 44. We have Jeffrey Ford qualified 16th. 17th, we have Wesley Whitfield. 18th, the Coors Light of Chad Payne in the number 9. Beautiful paint scheme on that car. We've got in 19th, Gary Sheldon. Raymond Vasquez in the 72 qualified 20th. 21st, Mark McFadden in the 67. Eric Sanford qualified 22nd. The remaining drivers did not take a qualifying time, which is perfectly okay. Shane Parrish, Judd Danielson, Donald Stewart, Gerald Campbell, David Wright, Nick Reynolds, Ivan Garcia, Russ Coe, and Sean Kalis. So we have a full field here tonight, fans. So this is going to be very exciting. Coming to the green here, we got 1 or 2 laps before we will get the green. And I tell you what, we've got a few drivers who've been out of the field for a while with certain emergency situations in their family. But we are back here and we are ready to go here live on All Pro Broadcasting for the Scoops Ice Cream 200. Again, this is a 2.5 mile oval. Most of you fans know all about Daytona. You've been there personally in real life, or you've definitely watched it on television many, many times. So this is going to be one of those exciting races where it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And the pace car is off, the green flag is out, and it looks like we've got our leader going to lead with the green flag here. And that will be William E. Moore's got a great jump. Looks like the number 3. Mark Jackson pulls in right behind him. We've got the 56 of Josh Bonwell on the outside of the inside of Richard Brose. These guys are working, trying to get in single file line. The question tonight is going to be, fans, which lane is going to prevail? Is the inside lane, which we always see fast in these Xfinity cars and the Truck Series, going to work? Or are the guys in the outside lane going to be able to hook up together, bump draft without wrecking, and make a pass on the leader? That is all to be told here in the next few laps. Right now, we definitely know for one thing's for sure.
Even Robert, a little bit of radio contact from the car here. On track, these cars like to dance around a lot. I am actually right now in about the, I'm going to say 11th position. And a little difficult to talk and drive, but we're okay.
Yes, sir, Ray. I appreciate any input you can give me. Right now, it definitely looks like the 58 of William E. Moore is in control of the field. He's got Mark Jackson in that beautiful, as always, number 3, over-the-top paints and designs Chevrolet Camaro in second. To his outside, we've got another great driver we haven't seen in many races tonight. That will be Richard Brose in that number 20. That's a beautiful Camaro, great paint job. He's on the outside there, hoping to get some help. Right now on the inside, we have Andrew Kessler in that number 98, Aegis sponsored Mustang GT. I cannot say Mustang GT too many times tonight, fans. I drive one every single day. It's a great car. Chevy makes a great product as well. Back to the racing, Curtis Young in that number 94. Chevrolet Camaro is filling up the 6th spot, but he's on that bottom lane, and right now it looks like Ray Richard. That bottom line has got the momentum as they are going to clear, looks like the 20 of Richard Brose, and put him back to 6th or 7th position.
Yeah, these cars are real hard to bump drive, especially through the corners there, Robert. You get on a straightaway, you can just touch a back bumper, but they're a little bit touchy and skittish this evening. Not sure if it's a setup or the temperature or whatnot, but I can tell you this. The lower line, if I could just stay here without anybody getting in front of me, I can follow Eric Stanford for a little while. Seems to be doing pretty good. I'm catching up to that 20 right now of Richard, and it seems like the outside line needs to get a little more organized. The lower line seems to be doing good. We got a wreck going on behind me, guys.
Yes, sir, Ray. You just do what you got to do. I'm going to cover this caution, fans. Give us about 3 or 4 seconds. We'll get the replay pulled up, and we'll see exactly what happened here on this first caution on lap number 4. It looks like we had involved the number 9 Coors Light. That would be of Chad Payne. In front of him, he made minimal contact with the number 51 Ever-Ready battery for every need of Kyle Cameron, who was running in 10th position. We're going to see exactly how that came to be.
Yeah, not sure about tire wear yet, but all indications show if we were to keep green, I think it'd be maybe a 1 pit stop run. It looks like my crew chief is telling me it's like 45 laps right now on a tank, but again, when you're slowing down, this obviously changes the whole deal. I think fresh tires might be in order here, even though we've only got 5 laps on. These cars, again, as I was saying earlier, the setup makes them like to dance a lot. And I don't know exactly what happened in that wreck, but I'm assuming maybe somebody got a little side door into somebody. That's kind of what happened in practice a lot. And these cars, when you get close, it gets even worse. So.
Yes, sir, Ray. Exactly. I got the replay pulled up. It looks like the 9 Coors Light of Chad Payne and the 51 of Kyle Cameron. They were just trying to occupy the exact same 1 foot of the Daytona high banks here. They got together. The 51 came around. He hit the 71 of Wesley Whitfield. The 85 of Judd Danielson got involved. The 72 looks like of Ivan Garcia. Quite a few more calls are involved. Unbelievably, Wesley Whitfield gets up on his roof in that Wrangler sponsored Chevy. Hopefully he's able to maintain, at least get back to the infield care center to make sure he has no concussion-like symptoms. But that is definitely one of those big wrecks you don't want to see early in the race. Unfortunately, it did just happen. And the real question is going to be, who's going to take advantage of pit road this early in the race, Ray? And you're in the cockpit. What are you seeing in front of you as far as pit road goes?
Now, in all honesty, Robert, we were going to follow these guys in, but more than half of the line in front of me just faked it, and I decided to stay out because right now track position seems to be pretty good, especially with these guys behind us. And I'm not exactly sure how many wrecked cars are going to be out there. Of course, there's going to be a lot of aero damage, so I'm hoping we got a little bit more than just, a dozen or so cars without the damage that can keep up the speed. That's going to be a big factor right now, obviously, this early in the race. There's 74 laps to go, and a lot of guys are going to lose their aero, so I'm hoping they can keep up the speed. I hope a lot of guys made it through that. All I know is I've seen a bit of carnage through my rear view there, and kind of glad we kept it one piece and keep on the lead lap here. So we're just trying to save fuel at this point in time. We got the ability to shut the car off, obviously, and that adds a few little laps here and there. And with that being said, that's something I think we're going to lead into most of the night. But we'll see what happens. I don't think this is going to be a fuel mileage deal, but of course I've said that before, and you get towards the end, and I'll tell you, it can be kind of touch and go type thing. But the tires right now, they don't seem to wear here a lot. I didn't get a lot of tire wear readings in practice. I'm hoping we can kind of hold on at the moment in time, and right now we just went from 15th to 10th, so I'm not really complaining all that much.
Yes, sir. It's a great move by you. And like you just said, most all the leaders did stay out here. We did have quite a few drivers involved in that accident that are going to be coming down pit road to get some repairs. We got a couple other drivers who have had to take their car behind the wall. Raymond Vasquez in the number 72, too much damage. Tyler Chalk in the 07, too much damage. So those guys are out of the race right now. And so right now, coming up on lap number 7, it's going to be a restart, and the leaders did stay out. Welcome to the show, Gabriel Wood. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's beginning a trend showing up late. I'd like to thank the Lima Transportation Board for derailing a locomotive, keeping me from coming home.
Well, there's plenty of locomotives right now, 2x2 down through here at Daytona, Gabe.
Oh, that sounds like a good time. I'm glad
it's been an all right time so far, buddy. They got me recording from in the car here on the track. With that being said, we just had a pretty good wreck behind us. I'm not exactly sure who's going to make it back out, but it looks like a handful of cars made it through, and I'm hoping a lot of aero isn't destroyed right now. So
it's good to hear. Give me a couple minutes to get into the booth, and we'll be ready to call this thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. A reminder to all the fans, you are watching the Scoops Ice Cream of the Year Florida 200. And give you a quick reminder, Ray, you coming to the green. I think we got enough time here if you're on the backstretch. How you can win the free pizza giveaway, fans, is very simple. Be the first fan to actually pick the winner of this race before lap 40. Again, you don't want to pick more than one driver. You get one pick. If you want to wait till lap 35 and make your pick, no problem at all. The first fan, however, who does pick the accurate driver to win the race before lap 40 will win a large 3-topping Domino's pizza, carry-out only, from your local Domino's store anywhere in the United States of America. Like I said, do not pick more than one driver. We cannot count if you pick 2 or 3 or 4. It's just not fair to the other fans who are picking one. We've given away about 35 of these pizzas so far this year. We want you to be the next fan to win that free pizza.
All right, we're lining up here, guys. Pace car looks to be pulling off here in just a second. I can kind of see it from my angle. Second gear already, kind of getting up back in the 24. Green flag's out. We're back in the throttle, guys.
Yes, sir. Pace car is pulled off. It looks like William E. Moore is going to maintain that lead. Looks like behind him in second position, we've got Mark Jackson. And those guys were working on the outside, but William E. Moore had to pull down to the bottom to prevent the run from the 98 of Andrew Kessler. That leaves the 3 of Mark Jackson up there all by himself. He's going to do his very best to get the side drafting work done to maintain his position here. But more than likely, he's going to be falling back to the field. We got a couple other drivers on the outside trying to catch up to him. That looks like it will be the 66 over that of Mark Jackson. And a couple other cars are trying to make that outside line work. What are you saying, Ray?
Yeah, I got 24 ahead of me. I'm stuck on that outside line. Unfortunately, I'd like to get to the low line. That's where it's at. But if we can get a train going on the outside here, we'll be in good shape. Of course, I'm following the 24 of Eric Stanford right now. We're slowly moving up alongside these guys. I think that's Mark Jackson ahead of him. I can't really tell, but we seem to be getting up to the leaders here, Robert.
Yes, you are actually making some headway. Big time. You're in that number 44. Do you have a new paint scheme on tonight, Ray?
Yes, sir. I figured the Scoops would go along with Breyer's Ice Cream tonight, guys.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is America's #1 vanilla Ray Richer in that Scoops Ice Cream Chevrolet Camaro. A couple other comments on this beautiful car. You want to see it. It's got Breyer's Natural Vanilla on the hood. It's a black, beautiful Chevrolet Camaro with a great big scoop of ice cream. I could have a bite of that right now. Good luck, Ray, and you're definitely moving up forward on the outside groove there.
Appreciate that, Robert. One other thing I'd like to point out, with these cars, everybody thinks it's full throttle. It's not the case, especially when you get to the corner. I'm not touching the brake at all, but I'll go 3/4 throttle to back off. Again, you don't want to hit these guys because a little bit will upset the car, and obviously we've seen that earlier tonight.
Yes, sir.
Ray,
go ahead.
Now that I'm hearing that, if I could go ahead and give you a little piece of advice, actually drag your brake a little bit if you want to keep the RPMs up. Go a little bit faster. I know going towards the end of the race, if you want to keep your momentum up, but you're having to brake, a little bit of advice for you, just kind of drag the brake.
Three wide ahead of me, guys. Hang on.
Oh, God.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, the William E. Moore 58 machine went up to block the 3 of Mark Jackson. He could not get it done. Andrew Kessler, that number 98 Aegis Motorsports Mustang GT, had to run on the inside. Curtis Young's right behind him. William E. Moore, that 58, is fighting back in his Mustang GT on the outside. And that's going to bring the 24 of Eric Stanford, the 3 of Mark Jackson on the outside, and also, Ray, it looks like you're still out there on the outside.
Yes, sir. I I've heard Gabe's advice. I haven't tried that yet, but it's definitely good advice. You want to keep those RPMs up best you can.
It looks like in the third position on that bottom lane right now is Josh Bonwell on that number 56. He's got the yellow truck Mustang GT tonight. And I can guarantee you one thing, Josh's mom, Thayla, is watching. This could be the night that she wins that free large topping Domino's Pizza. She watches every night, and we've got battles all over the track. What are you seeing there, Gabe?
I'm seeing the stairs on the way to the booth.
Question is, by the way, will she split the pizza with Josh?
I believe they're in different cities, to be honest with you. But she is one of the biggest mom supporters of a driver I've ever seen in iRacing. And so she is definitely going to be doing everything she can. And Josh is going to do everything he can to get this win tonight for his mom. He's already got one win in one of our series here at Domino's TYJ Racing. We got some other great drivers in this top group of cars. You could almost throw a blanket over. Looks like about 16 cars up here. We got Mark McFadden in the 67. He's in 10th position right now. It looks like Mark is driving that beautiful pillboxes.com. Excuse me, Mustang GT. Get a better look at that real quick. On his inside, we've got the 66 Southeast Motorsports of Jack Watts. Behind him, we've also got, looks like Richard Bros in there. Richard Bros, if I'm not mistaken, somebody can correct me. Brose, excuse me, he owns a string of pizza stores. Is that not correct there?
Well, I'll tell you what, that would be kind of ironic, wouldn't it?
Well, he's a great driver, and we're happy to see him in the field tonight in the number 20 Camaro. He's doing a great job. On his inside, we've got Jeff T. Martin in that Call of Duty A-Top Gamers number 15 Camaro. And right behind him, real quick, we've got Gary Sheldon, that number 88 JR Motorsports, following up in the 12th position. Go ahead, Gabe.
Back to the on-track action. It looked like that top lane was following back just a little bit, but once you look at this, we got two prancing horses, the Ford Mustangs, on the front row, battling for the lead. Andy Kessler there on the inside, the number 98 machine. William E. Moore on the outside. Can they get it done? He's got the Truck Series champion from last year, Curtis Young, on the back bumper, trying to push him back up to the front, but that outside lane's been gaining some steam there. They were almost back to the third row there, beside Josh Bonwell there just last lap. But now with that momentum coming, Eric Stanford's doing a heck of a job staying tucked up under that 58. And I tell you what, Robert, in a couple laps we may see a battle for the lead here. And who's right behind him is Ray Richer, so he could see that back to blue number 44 get to the front.
Yes, sir. A little bit further back in the pack, we got another group of three drivers staying nose to tail. We got the 42 STP Camaro of David Wright. Right behind him, tucked up, we have the 420 Trailer Trash Lot 420 of Richard Rusco, my bad, 14th. Behind him, we have Jeremy Crandall in that number 73. That's going to be the Charlie's Asphalt and Paving and Scoops Ice Cream Chevrolet Camaro. So Jeremy Crandall is in 15th. These three drivers, Gabe, if they can maintain a single file line and stay tucked up, they might can catch that lead group. What do you think?
Going to be one tough battle. Now, if these drivers start racing three wide, which you know this draft model is capable of doing so, they might be able to catch them. But with these guys racing two wide, their speed right now at the line 196, the 42 190. So these three drivers not going to be able to get it done. But on-track action, that 98 has been able to pull back away. So that's what we're going to see here all night. That top lane trying to catch him as we got two cars spinning to the bottom side of the racetrack. Richard Bros in the number 20 gets spun sideways. No caution. Jeff T. Martin in the 15 also caught up.
Yes, sir, Gabe. I'm going to pull up that replay real quick. Give us fans just a second here. It definitely looks like the 20 of Richard Bros in that Chevrolet Camaro. He's got the 15. Looks like Richard comes down, thinking he's clear. He gets into the right front corner of the 15. A-Top Gamers number 15 Chevrolet Camaro of Jeff T. Martin. They both go spinning to the inside. Hopefully they don't have too much damage, but it's definitely knocked them out of the front row here.
Brose's out of the race in the 15. More than likely going to fall a lap down here. But, Robert, I'm looking at this. That steering wheel, I mean, I've never seen Brose race, but that was too blatant to be, just a simple mistake because his wheel just straightens up coming off the corner. I believe he had an equipment failure or something, a black screen or something, because that driver just turned straight to the right, straight to the left, and into the 15. And he never even tried to save it or anything. That steering wheel stayed exactly straight, so that's a little bit of an odd incident.
Gabe reporting from inside the car. I've been watching this inside line kind of shift up a little bit. Oh, more in the car length ahead of the guy that is in second place. Again, I can't see the number offhand. I think it's a 58. I see a lap car we're coming up on right now. A little bit of concentration going on, obviously, to keep it in the middle of the pack. Give me a second.
Top lane trying to catch him again. It's going to be 072 of Ivan Garcia letting the pack go to the outside. 58 pulls up just a little bit to get a little bit of draft off of Ivan Garcia there. That Air Force number 58 trying to get it down on the top side. Hasn't been able to come through yet. New paint scheme again on the number 94 machine. So a little bit different colors. He's been running that in the past few weeks. Lap number 18 coming to lap number 19 here. Complete lap number 18 here in this 80-lap race. So closing in on the 1/4 distance mark, Robert.
Gabe, just so you know, too, I'm kind of hearing from my crew chief, this will be a 2-pit stop race if it continues green to the end. It looks like we'll be stopping here ourselves in probably another 15 or so laps.
Good to hear it's inside the car. Ray Richard, we're hearing on the radio there in the number 44, giving us a live look in at the race. I tell you what, it's good to have a pair of eyes there on the racetrack.
Yeah, real quick, I didn't mention earlier this group of 3, and Gabe, you definitely correctly made the indication that they are losing time as a 3-car pack. But I wanted to go a little bit further back. We've got quite a few guys that are working in different groups here. We've got a 3rd pack. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cars, led by that number 81 Serpro of Shane Parrish. I'm not sure. I think their time might actually be catching the leaders, or at least that 2nd pack. That group is led by Shane Parrish. We've got Donald Stewart, the 78, behind him. We've got Gerald Campbell, 35, McDonald's. Jeffrey Ford behind him in 17. Sean Campbell, that number 45, he's in 18th position right now. And he's in that beautiful Wells Fargo Mustang GT. Behind him, in the same pack, we got the 51 and 19th of Kyle Cameron, Interstate Batteries. And behind him, we have the number 10 of Nick Reynolds in 20th. Those guys are in one other pack. And then we got behind them a whole other pack of drivers, Gabe. I think these guys are trying to pull a strategy play to stay out of the wrecks if they do occur. Back in 21st, led by the number 17. That would probably be the Hexcom 17 of Gary Sexton. Right behind him, his teammate in the Georgia number 11 Chevrolet Camaro of William Davis. Excuse me, he's in 22nd. Behind him, we have Joe Johnson in the IRAPS number 83 Toyota Camry in 23rd. Judd Danielson in that number 85 Domino's Chevrolet Camaro. So those guys are like a whole different group of cars trying to stay back.
Robert, we got a battle for lead. I hate to cut you off here, but
no problem.
58's pulled even with the number 98 there. William E. Moore trying to go for the lead here on lap number 21. He's finally gotten a good run. Can he get it done this time by? And does he have enough of a run if he can't get clear to wait for the number 24 of Eric Stanford? Here they come to turn number 1. Can he get it done? That looks like that line's fading a little bit more. I'll tell you what, Eric Stanford's going to have to stay tucked up underneath the 58 if they want to get to the lead. He keeps ducking out, moving around a little bit. He's not going to be able to get the run he needs to stay there, or to get up into the lead. Look at the number 94, Curtis Young.
During that challenge, I just ran the fastest lap of the race so far that I've had, just so you know, the last lap, fastest lap of the race.
198, getting close to 199, should be at 199 to 200 by the time they get to the line, because Curtis Young there, he is pushing the daylights out of the number 98 of Andrew Kessler, that number 98 machine, trying to keep it up front. Usually usually piloted by his driver in the Cup Series, David Washington, but Andy takes over the duties there in the Xfinity level. I tell you what, he does one heck of a job. He's one of the masters at the plate track. You cannot go to a plate track without talking about, an ageless driver specifically, but Andrew Kessler especially. For the number 58, William E. Moore trying to get it done there on the top side, Robert. I don't think he's going to be able to get it done. He needs a little bit better of a partner there, and not the 24 of Eric Stanford, who's just kind of laying back. He's going to have somebody who can get up to him.
Yes, sir, Dave. I completely agree. I think on the outside group there, the outside lane, you're going to have more than 3 cars. Right now, we've got the 58 of William E. Moore. We've got the 24 of Eric Stanford. We've also got behind him the 30 of Mark Jackson. They need 1 or 2 more cars to jump to the outside lane, and you cannot predict it, Gabe. And Ray, as you know, somebody gets a move, somebody gets some momentum, and they move to the outside. That's exactly what it will take. Or the right, exact, perfect push, like the 24 just gave the 58. Obviously, you don't want to wreck somebody in front of you, but I tell you what, the 58 is staying really close to the 98 as far as lap by lap, side by side. So this is an incredible battle up front here on lap 24.
But see, if you look at the 24 of Eric Stanford, he's not able to hold his line. I don't know what's going on with that number 24 machine, either a little bit of damage or something, but that number 24 is not able to hold it behind the 58 in the corner. And it may not look like much, but he's scrubbing off speed and killing that line. I tell you what, Ray, you need to get up there and race a little bit harder and maybe push these guys up to the front. Looks like you're losing a little bit of time.
We're doing our best, Gabe, not to touch the rear bumpers. These cars are so touch sensitive with aero tonight that the minute you touch them, they kind of turn. But on that note, I'm looking at Eric's rear bumper right now. I don't see any damage, no dings, no scrapes, no marks. It seems to be good from my angle. I can't see anything much else. I'm just doing my best to kind of keep up with them for now. I'd like to get to the low line, but I'm not sure if that's going to lose momentum for me. That's why I've been kind of following these guys around for a little while.
All right, as these guys start to settle down just a little bit, let's look back to your second big pack there. They're starting to catch their these front guys. They're they've slowed down a tremendous bit, so something's up. I mean, maybe the 81. These guys, this is kind of weird, but maybe they need to start tucking up underneath each other and maybe start racing.
Nice push, guys. We got a nice push.
Going back up front, William E. Moore trying to go for the lead. This has been the biggest run he's had so far. Come on, Eric Stanford, get up under that bumper and push into the lead. We're going to need to see somebody other than Kessler up front.
Yes, sir. I just heard on team communications these cars can go between 29 and 34 laps on the tank here with the Domino's TYJ Racing Series Premier Xfinity. So these guys are getting close. They're on lap 27, and it'll be interesting to see who can figure out this lead, and these guys are going to have to make a move to the low lane to get down pit road, and that's a whole nother category there, Gabe and Richard, Ray. Who can get on pit road with zero mistakes, without contact, without speeding? That's going to be really exciting for the fans here.
Yeah, that's one thing we didn't practice, unfortunately, in practice, guys. We did a lot of green flag runs with the packs, but obviously that's one thing that should have been practiced long ago, but we'll do our best to obviously keep things in one piece.
Daytona, it's a simple pit road to get on. It's just getting down through the gears. You're going to have to brake. Where I like to brake, because I run a few leagues that do run green flag laps at Daytona and Talladega, I usually just brake off at the exit of turn 4 and immediately start braking. But if you're super desperate, you can brake about 100 to 200 feet later to try and make up some position. You just have to alternate your brake pedal to try and get the pressure to keep the car from spinning around.
Like I said, these pit stops coming for in just a few minutes are going to be some of the most exciting pit stops we've ever seen, or at least in the last few months, because we have not been on a plate track for quite a while there, Gabe and Ray.
2-car tandem there on the top side going against the 4-car behemoth on the inside lane. Andrew Kessler trying to fend off that battle for the lead. Who's going to lead it this time by? I thought William E. Moore got the lead, but 1/1000th of a second separating your top two. They're on the front row of this little pack we got going here. And the longer and longer we run, the more and more cars we lose. It looks like we just lost the 88 of Gary Sheldon. Now Mark McFadden dropping back from this pack as well. I'll tell you what, Jack Watts and Mark Jackson, they're going to be the next drivers to fall back from this pack. It's hard to be that final car. You have to stay on the gas at all times. And if you have to check up for any reason, you're more than likely going to lose the pack.
I tell you one thing, Gabe, that's exactly what's happening to this big pack way back in the field, led by Shane Pearson, that number 81 Serpro. These guys were planning on starting in the back and not being involved in the big one early in the race, but they are looking at a 35-second deficit to the leader here. And so they are really back here. They're going to have to hope for, I almost want to say, some kind of miracle action on pit road here, or they're going to have to stay out and hope for a caution. But they are so far back right now. They are in single file status, Gabe, but they have not made up any time, contrary to what I thought they might do.
And I bet you if you would look at the telemetry data on these cars, they're hitting the brake and kind of slowing down, giving each other room. But if they want to catch them, I mean, they've got time to do it. I've seen it done. but they're going to have to start pushing, because if you look at the front pack, they're running 198, 199 miles an hour around this race course, 196 at the moment, but they're tucked up right underneath each other. These guys are going to have to do it. Look at the separation there between these guys.
Fellas, just so you know, too, we're getting ready to pit up here. I just heard from radio communications, a lot of guys have about 5 more laps than we do, being so far back and saving fuel. I've been in the throttle a lot, of course, keeping the momentum up of the engine. We're probably going to pit here in the next 2 or 3 laps.
Going to watch for these guys to come down pit road.
Yeah, real quick, Dave and Ray, I want to give the fans one more opportunity for the details. We've had quite a few more fans join our broadcast. Thank you for being here tonight. You are in the contention to win a large 3-topping free Domino's pizza from your local Domino's store. That is not a joke. We do this every single Wednesday and Thursday night at 8:50 p.m. Eastern here on All Pro Broadcasting. If you're watching tonight in the live chat, make sure you click the subscribe button. That way you get all the alerts. Real simple. Before lap 40, you got 8 laps to go, fans. You get to pick one driver that you think is going to win this race. You got to make your pick before lap 40. The first fan to make the accurate pick will win that free large 3-topping Domino's pizza from any Domino's store in the United States of America. Guaranteed. Carry out only. You have to go pick it up, but it is completely free. No tax, no money out of your pocket, not even one dime. And you want to get your pick in before lap 40, and I think we're getting close to pit stops, guys.
Yeah, you can see guys starting to work their way to the bottom side of the racetrack. Eric Stanford's already done so. Now William B. Moore's trying to work his way to the back. While we got a chance, I want to brag on iRacing just a little bit. I've noticed something here on the iRacing service. When we went down to Daytona for the ARCA race in February, this is a show of iRacing's attention to detail. We ran Daytona, and our pit box was horrible. It was pit box 26, I believe, and it was horrible because there was an electrical panel box in the middle of the pit box, so we couldn't move around. Well, if you look down at pit stall 26, right past the start-finish line, guess what's there? So I just wanted to brag on iRacing a little bit. I thought that was a funny piece, a little trivia there. So these guys, as they're coming to pit road, Mark Jackson coming down, so he's going to be the first of the drivers come down the pit road. Jack Watts also coming with him.
Yes, sir, we have Jack Watts, also Ray Richards on pit road.
Hashtag burp on live stream.
Excuse me, we're going to follow Ray Richard here in that beautiful America's #1 vanilla Breyers vanilla ice cream Chevrolet Camaro. Looks like Ray is getting this pit box perfectly. Luckily for him, he's got 2 other drivers to fit with. The right sides are going up. He's getting 2 right Goodyear Eagles, 1 can of Sunoco Racing Fuel. Looks like the crew's running around the left side. Oh, the guy slips. He's getting 2 left side tires and a 2nd can of Sunoco Racing Fuel. He's off. He's going to have a lot of hard time to catch up with those the other 2 guys who pitted with him.
Yep, because they've taken 2 tires, so Ray Richard has been left out by himself. Ray, fortunately for you, but you do have some guys to race with as one of the packs goes by there.
Yeah, this is going to mix up everything in the lead.
Meanwhile,
the other leaders are coming down right now. Curtis Young and Andrew Kessler. Gabe, I'll take the leader or the 2nd place guy on the pit here. He's got 4 of them on pit road right now.
Andrew Kessler, Curtis Young coming down the pit road. They're just a few pit stalls away from each other. 2 stops. They come in and they're in there perfectly. Let's watch for the 2 tires. Left sides for Curtis Young only. Yep, he takes off from pit road, so Curtis Young is actually going to get the lead, and Andrew Kessler's going to be left on pit road. What's happening? The number 98, he hasn't left his pit stall.
Oh, we got a big call in here. Yeah, it looks like that second group of cars just caught some of the cars who just come off of pit road. Fans give us about 3 or 4 seconds. We'll get the replay pulled up. It looks like the 81 of Gary Sexton caught up to the 44 of Ray Richard, who had just come off of pit road. That big group of cars had a lot more speed, a lot more momentum, like 190 miles an hour to 175. And the 81 had to check up just a tad.
A
and the
big mistake.
Of Jeremy Crandall got into the back of the 81. We'll pull it up.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but the 81 caused that accident because he had no chance of staying tucked up behind Ray Richard. He should have just gone to the outside, but he ends up causing that huge wreck.
Fellas, I just heard on the radio. Hang on a second, guys. I just heard on the radio one of the guys said he got loose coming out of the pits. I thought I was the cause of that. I will definitely take a penalty if it comes to it. But 83 is just I think it was the 83 that said that he got loose. I'm not quite sure if it was him or not.
88.
88, guys,
I
88.
think it was the 88 of Gary Sheldon. I'm going to pull that up real quick, fans, and see exactly what happened. That could have been what pulled it. Yeah, he's in here in the grass.
Yeah,
Let me back up
two
the
separate
replay for the 88 of Gary Sheldon.
two separate incidences. Ray, that was not your fault. You were holding your line on that big incident involving Donald Stewart and Shane Parrish. It's just he did not choose to go to the outside, and that checked up the guys behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. The 88 of Gary Sheldon got down into the grass, overcorrected back up into the wall. This opportunity, we're going to take our first real quick commercial break. You are watching the Scoops Old Fashioned Ice Cream of the Year of Florida 200 live on All Pro Broadcasting. Fans, we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driver the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with Freedom Train.
Back here live, Daytona International Speedway. We've got the one to go for the restart here at halfway. So get your picks in for the free Domino's. It's a 3-topping pizza, I do believe, the giveaway. Get your picks in because we're going to go green here and we're going to be at halfway next time by. So get them in while you still can. Updated running order of your top 10. 17 cars still on the lead lap, led by Curtis Young, William E. Moore, Mark Jackson, Jack Watts, Mark McFadden are your top 5. Andrew Kessler getting held up there on that pit stop for some reason. I don't exactly understand what happened there on that pit stop. But Ray Richard now in 7th. David Wright, 42 machine in 8th. Russ Coe, Shane Parrish. Round out your top 10. Final few cars: Eric Stanford, Jeremy Crandall, Sean Kalisz, Gary Sexton, William Davis, Joe Johnson, Jeffrey Ford are your final drivers on the lead lap. 17 in all here for a 40-lap dash to the finish. Hopefully we can go green with some good racing. And now we can see what William E. Moore can do with somebody else behind him and what Curtis Young can do while out front.
Yes, sir, Gabe. We're going to do our very famous All-Pro Broadcasting. Crank it up here when we get the restart here. Luckily, this has been our first caution. Hopefully, we don't have many more. And once the pace car pulls off, we're going to take a couple of laps and let you fans turn up your surround sound. Enjoy this Crank It Up. We'll be back talking in just a couple of laps.
Coming to the line, Curtis Young will be your leader. We conclude our Domino's TYJ All-Pro Broadcasting Crank It Up here from Daytona. Mark Jackson in that famous number 3 machine carrying it to the front there. Carried by the master of the super speedways, Dale Earnhardt, paying tribute to him, a lifelong fan. Mark Jackson is behind him, a Southeast Motorsports teammate in the 66 of Jack Watts. If you remember, I do believe the last time that we ever ran with the lead cars on a super speedway, I think the top 5 or top 4 was a company, was all Southeast Motorsports drivers, so they know how to get it done there on the plate tracks. And William E. Moore stuck on the outside again, but this time with our old leader, Andy Kessler, who knows how to get it done on the super speedways. Can he push him up to the front? He's side by side with Mark Jackson there for second.
Yes, sir, Gabriel Wood. And like we said earlier, that outside lane, they need a couple more drivers up there to make that outside lane work. Right now, they've got 2. Looks like William E. Moore and Andrew Kessler, and they are 2 of the best at it here at the Xfinity car. And the next car I see all the way back there in the outside lane is doing battle with the 42. David Wright, that would be, I think, is that our good friend Ray Richard in the 44?
Yep, right in front of them, the Scoops Ice Cream number 44, carrying the banner. Red Eyed Smile, the Scoops Ice Cream 200. coming to the line. I tell you what, let's go back up front. William E. Morris pulled side by side with Curtis Young with help from the 98 Andrew Kessler. So 2 Fords working the top side of the racetrack, 2 Chevys. The bow tie special there on the bottom of the Prancing Horse, trying to get it done on the top side. Can he get it done there? He's had a little bit better of a run than he had with the number 24 of Eric Stanford behind him, but the same story, different verse. As he's going to be able to pull side by side but not be able to complete the pass. Can he do it this time by going into turn number 3?
I tell you what, Gabe, these guys are running 198, 197 miles an hour on the straights, slowing down just to 196 here in the curves. And these are some of the absolute best in Domino's TYJ racing at these plate tracks. We got William E. Moore in the 58 Mustang GT, followed by Andrew Kessler, like you said. And these guys are doing an excellent, perfect job of racing side by side, maintaining the momentum and getting the runs when they need to. All they need is one more player in the outside lane.
And we're seeing more and more guys start to drop to the back. If you look there, we've got drivers dropping back, led by Shane Parrish. Now it's got actually led by the 15, who I really don't think should be the person to lead this line because he had some damage earlier from a wreck, so I don't know why he's leading the line, but apparently they're content with running him like that. 197 miles an hour, so not doing too bad, but I don't understand why they're going to hang back again this time, because it surely didn't work last time, because we didn't have any big wrecks. Oh, and Andrew Kessler, they broke up the bottom side. Curtis Young hit the apron apparently, and now he's going to be dropped down to the second spot there on the bottom lane. William E. Moore goes to the front, but he doesn't take Andrew Kessler with him. Here comes Eric Stanford pushing the number 98 to the lead. Can they get it done there on the back straightaway? Coming out of turn number 2, he's going to pull even with him, but William E. Moore now moves to the front. Can they get it done down the back straightaway? A 4-car breakaway of just a little bit. So a 2-car tandems, they're up to the top 4. But now here comes Mark Jackson with a little bit of help from his teammate in the 66 of Jack Watts.
I tell you what, that was an incredible save by the 94 Curtis Young, and that U.S. Air Force sponsored number 58 of William E. Moore in the lead right now. He's got some of the best outside of him. Andrew Kessler, the number 98, he's getting a great push by the ESBilliards.com. Mustang GT, billiard supplies, and more. He's been in the top 3 or 4 or 5 all race long, it seems like, Dave.
Eric Stanford running just a little bit higher there on the outside lane, trying to get that momentum built up to push Andrew Kessler to the front. And there goes Ray Richard to the outside, dropping back just a little bit. So Ray, you're looking to lose just a few positions if these guys start wrecking here. But I tell you what, that second pack starting to catch him a little bit more with Curtis Young's little screw up there on the apron. These guys are starting to get by, and they finally ditched the number 15 of Jeff T. Martin in favor of Shane Parrish to lead this pack.
Yes, sir, Gabe. One other driver I want to highlight is the number 67 of Mark McFadden. He started back in 21st. He's up to 7th. He's in that pitboxes.com Ford Mustang GT. 67's a great year. It's when I was introduced into the world. Nobody cares. But the point is, Mark McFadden's having a great run tonight from 21st up to 7th. I understand he's had some serious health issues in 2017, so it's great to see him catching up to the lead pack here. Hopefully he can pull off the top 3 finish.
Yeah, at least he's not running with like Ivan Garcia with a great sense of humor running his number 72.
Exactly. I definitely think he's up there in age, but he's an excellent driver. He's just been out of the loop with some serious health issues. I think he had an accident on a motorcycle or something, broke a vertebra, 5 or 6 other bones. I'm not kidding you guys, ladies, and the fans. So it's a remarkable resurgence of the 67 of Mark McFadden up in 7th.
Can't keep a good guy down, especially with a hobby like this. It's just fun to get in, forget about the day's troubles, and just race. I tell you what, we're racing at 80 laps here at Daytona, approaching 30 laps to go. Andy Kessler trying to get it done there on the outside lane, but he doesn't have enough cars. And you know that 66 isn't going to jump to the top side because Mark Jackson isn't there. So he's in a little bit of a pickle. Now we've got the 42 of David Wright tucked up behind him. Ray Richard now going to the top side as well. So these guys starting to form, and here comes that second pack. They're going to stall out here, maybe. But here comes the 81. Now we finally got some cars coming out into this pack.
Yeah, I tell you what, Shane Parrish and that number 81 Serpro has made it to the front. Another big driver, the 42 of David Wright, in that STP Chevy Camaro. He is up in the mix now. So we got, like you just said, 30 laps to go. and we've got a lot of drivers competing for this win. Nobody knows who's going to win this one here tonight, Gabe.
Oh, Andy Kessler making a fight for it there on the top side. Can he get clear? He pulled away just a little bit, but now he's going to pull back even as the 24 gets a little bit squirrely there. Andy Kessler's going to go to the lead this time by. Now they've got some cars to push. They're on the outside lane. That top side. We're going to give you a rundown of who's where. Inside lane is the 58 of Will Give Me More. Behind him, Curtis Young, Mark Jackson, Jack Watts. Your top four on the top side. 98 of Andy Kessler, Eric Stanford, the 42 of David Wright, and Ray Richard. And then you've got the rest of the pack, the 67, 81, all trying to find a place to run. And I tell you what, we're inside 30 laps to go here, Robert. Who's going to be able to get it done? Who's your pick at the moment? We've been able to see who's strong up here in the pack. Who do you think's going to win it?
I tell you what, if we do not have a caution, it's going to be between the 58, the 98, the 94, the 24, the 42, the 3, the 44. I know I'm getting a lot of numbers. We might have a caution as well. I'll tell you what, if we do have any kind of mix-up in front, never rule out the 81 Shane Parrish. He is one of the best drivers in our Dominance TYJ Racing League. And right now, I want to give a quick highlight out, a Dominance driver profile to the number 98 of Andrew Kessler. He is one of our great additions in 2017. Andrew is from Belchertown, Massachusetts. His race team is Aegis Motorsports. His sponsors are Aegis Motorsports, Chef Andy's Lobster Rolls, which sound really good right now. PowerTech Power Solutions has been in sim racing 5 years. He is famous. We won't tell you where and how, but we're very thankful Andy is part of Dominance TYJ Racing. He wants to give special thanks to Dave Washington and Aegis Motorsports. And I tell you what, it's heating up here in the front. And I tell you what, Gabe, we got a big group of cars, and they're catching some live traffic right now.
Yep, drivers going to the top side. Josh Botwell and Judd Danielson. Botwell actually running up front until I believe his power went out, so lost power. He's gone 2 laps down now, but he's back on track here and about to go 3 laps down. At the moment, I should say, yep, he's going to go 3, and Judd Danielson is going to go 4. A little bit of a shake-up there, as it looks like. Trying to see here, Ray Richard jumps to the bottom. He's going to abandon that top side for the moment. That's going to leave only 3 cars out there now to push, so the opportunity for Andy Kessler to get the lead at the moment has gone away. We're closing in 25 laps to go now, just 2 laps away. So it's counting down. The lap tracker is going down. You know what that means? It's running out of time to get up front, and these guys are going to get a lot more aggressive.
Yes, sir, and one more time, I'm going to give one more Dominance driver profile while we have a second. Ray Richard is a very special driver. Dominance TYJ Racing is a veteran driver, been with us from the very, very beginning, the first weeks when we started 2 years ago. Ray is from Mohawk, New York. His race team is Richard Racing. Tonight he is flying the beautiful colors of Briar's Ice Cream Vanilla, the #1 vanilla in the world. He is part of that Jeremy Crandall Scoops Ice Cream, which is a sponsor for tonight's race. Ray also has some other sponsors, Pro Auto Zone, AMSOIL is the main one, usually. Phantom Racing Chassis. And yes, Ray has got 4 years in sim, but yes, fans, he's also got 12 years in real racing. Interrupt me when you need to there, Gabe. I'm going to go over this real quick. He's won many heat races, only one feature. He has been building and maintaining many real world race cars and trucks, including light trucks, late models, 4-cylinders, modifieds, and ARCA cars. As a matter of fact, Ray Richard has spotted for 7 years at many local short tracks, as well as nationally. With ARCA for 2 years, he has spotted for ARCA at Kansas, Pocono, Iowa, Daytona, Talladega, and Kentucky. I tell you what, it is an honor and a blessing to have Ray Richard part of Dominance TYJ Racing. Let's give special thanks to Mike Smith from Pro Auto Service, Marty and Lori Gilmore at superoilcentral.com, where you can purchase all your AMSOIL needs. I tell you what, it's awesome to have guys like this, and you, Gabe, part of what we're doing here at Dominance TYJ Racing, and you as well, fans.
I tell you what, Ray Richard doesn't even have the truck anymore, but he still thanks the sponsor. That's pretty amazing. But I tell you what, I had Ray Richard in the spotter stand for me at Pocono in the RSR series on Monday, and I cannot go back to a different spotter. He's got to be the best one I've worked with, and whenever he can jump into the spotter stand, I'd love to have him.
You do know I can hear you guys, right?
Yep,
right?
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to let you
I
up.
didn't even think of that. I'm just going through a couple of Domino's driver profiles.
Ray Richard's one of the worst drivers we've ever seen here at Domino's.
Absolutely.
No, he's in the top 5. He's having a great run, and we'll get back to the lead here. Looks like William Evor in that 58. I tell you what, he's been dominating this race. Andrew Kessler, I think, Gabe and Ray, he's biding his time as they go below another lap driver. And this
Fellas,
other
I want to let you know, too, right now, this car anyways, I'm not sure about anybody else, but I'm about 10 laps short. We will be doing a short pit. I know I don't want to really give that away all that much, even though it's a super speedway. I'm going to see if we can find somebody to go in with. So a little bit of an update out here in the asphalt.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Ray. We will not give that secret out to anybody. Obviously, all these drivers have got teammates, and they all know if we stay green, everybody's got to come back down to pit road, Gabe, and that's it's going to make this finale, the finale or the finish of this race, ultra exciting because you come down with 1 driver, 2 drivers, or 5 drivers. Do you get 3 seconds of fuel, 2 right side tires, or do you just get 2.5 seconds of fuel? It's all going to depend on the smartest driver. I've said this many, many times. I'll shut up in a second, Gabe, but you got to have a great driver, you got to have a great race car, you got to have an unbelievably great spotter like Ray is if he wasn't racing. You got to have a good crew chief, and you got to have the right calls on pit road, and you cannot make any mistakes on pit road, especially in these super speedways.
Well, what we're going to have to see here is, what we saw, drivers making mistakes and accidentally taking 4 when the rest of the field takes 2. Like Ray Risher, I know he won't make that mistake again, won't you, Ray?
He won't even need tires. He won't even need tires. He's got 4. All he'll need is a splash and go.
Yeah, we've already talked to the crew chief. You guys can catch a surprise what's going to happen when it comes to that point, guys.
All right. Maybe Ray Risher's going to pit backward and install or something. That'll be interesting to watch. Anyway, back up front, 58 of William E. Moore. He's going to be pushed by that number 94 of Curtis Young. And I tell you what, Curtis, he's going to be itching at the mouth because he can see that lead. There's one thing, we keep seeing Andrew Kessler drop to the back. What you're going to see is eventually, toward the end of this race, if Curtis wants that lead, he's going to wait till the 98 gets a run and jump to the top. He'll be able to get the push, and the gap between he and the 58 and the 3, that little open space will allow the 58 to drop back to him, and that's going to be the way to get the lead. So I think that's what we're going to see here in the closing laps.
Yes, sir, Gabe. I tell you what, it's easy for us up here in the booth to say these guys are just out there taking their time, cooling their jets, whatever. But these guys are racing hands as tight as they can be on the steering wheel every single corner of this racetrack. And yeah, Curtis is not on the floor. He's having to feather that throttle not to get into the 58. And you just said it right, exactly, Gabe. He is biding his time. He's waiting for the right, exact, perfect opportunity when we get close to the end of this race to make a move to the high side. If that's where he thinks he's going to win the race. Because Curtis has won a whole lot of races with Dominance TYJ Racing. And it's not because any other reason than he's a great driver, as are most of these drivers here in the field tonight. And I tell you what, we got this other pack led by the 81 Shane Parrish and another great driver, Sean Kalis, in that Wells Fargo, pitching up behind the back of the 81, and Jeremy Crandall with Scoops Ice Cream, 73. These guys are all just biding their time because everything's going to change in these pit stops. In my prediction, I don't get paid for predicting, but I think we're going to have a different leader after the pit stops occur.
You talk about these guys looking like they're taking it easy. They're just kind of riding. When I think pretty much everybody in this league ran Bucky Bird's Daytona 500 at the beginning of the year. We raced single file for a majority of that race. I don't think I've blinked too many times in 200 laps. So, even when you're riding single file, you have to keep your eyes peeled, look at the car in front of you, and look ahead of you for anything that's going to happen. You have to anticipate what's going to happen, especially like if you're like Curtis Young, tucked up behind the 58. If he checks up, you have to be covering that brake. The brake and the 3 as well, and the 66 all have to do their jobs. And that's what's so difficult about this plate racing. And you see Andy Kessler dropping back just a little bit. Now the 42 with David Wright ducks to the bottom. That's going to be your indication that these guys are going to start coming to pit road here in the next few laps.
Yes, I haven't heard anything on any kind of team communication. Ray gave us a little bit of indication that everybody is going to be short, and I do agree with that conclusion. So, who's going to pit when? Who's going to pit with who? Who's going to be perfect on pit road? And who's going to take the perfect amount of fuel? And this comes down to the half gallons, quarter gallons, 30 gallons, tenths of gallons, as to having enough fuel to make it in this race. Obviously, we have the green, white checkered finishes. So these guys have got the gauges in the car. They got the crew chiefs burning up the calculators right now to figure out exactly what the right move's going to be. And I'm telling you one thing, my prediction is we're going to have a different leader at the end of the pit stops.
All right, prediction right now. Call me crazy. He hasn't led a lap all night. I think the friggin' Mark Jackson's going to win this race. Oh, Curtis Young gets spun up into the outside wall. Right as I say that, trouble right in front of him. Curtis Young gets spun with the number 98 of Andrew Kessler, who was trying to find a place on the bottom. Curtis just came up. I think he was trying to do the move to get to the top and get around the 58 now that they were single file. And he just timed it wrong and pulled up in front of the 98 machine of Andrew Kessler.
Yes, fans, give us about 3 seconds to get this replay pulled up. This is a huge game changer, as two of the fastest drivers in the series are going to be out of the race right now.
Even drivers still getting taken out. That's kind of weird. Jeffrey Ford, after the number 98 machine got checked up, 24 went to the outside. I guess he couldn't see over the back bumper at 81 and just pulled up and plowed into the back of Andrew Kessler. That took out Sean Kalis as well. Oh, and the 73 of Jeremy Crandall got caught up in that as well.
Yes, sir. That is very unfortunate for these drivers. It definitely looks like like you just said, that's exactly what occurred after the first initial contact. And that's just unfortunate. These kind of things happen. These guys are running 190 miles an hour. They're trying to get checked up. One guy slows down a little bit more than you're expecting to get in the back of him, running 180. And obviously, it's going to ruin a lot of guys' nights.
Hey, fellas, what I've heard on the radio here, we had a guy looking at a gauge, and he got a little distracted, unfortunately. I don't know who it was off the top of my head, but I did hear that. And just that one split second, unfortunately, all I seen was carnage in front of me for a short bit. Thank God we made it through it here, guys.
Tell you what, Ray Richard, as soon as I say it, Mark Jackson, still, he's going to be my pick, but 44 Ray Richard, maybe can pull off the upset. As we're sitting here, these cars are going to come to pit road. We're going to cover their pit stops and then send it to a quick commercial break and be back at the conclusion of this race with about just over 10 laps to go. Let's see what they can do here. So this will be your final pit stop of the night. Let's see if we can get it done. If anybody takes 4, anybody takes 2, then now that added grip is something to look out for. We're taking 4 tires, but is the track position worth it?
Yeah,
William Moore comes to pit road, no tires, and Mark Jackson goes to the lead.
I tell you what, this pit strategy, we were thinking they were going to come to pit road under green. They're on pit road under caution, and the strategy still ensues.
As these drivers exit pit road, we're going to let them sort out, get back behind the pace car, and we're going to give you your updated running order for the conclusion of the Scoops Ice Cream 200 here, live from the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. This is All Pro Broadcasting for the Domino's TYJ Premier Xfinity Series here on All Pro Broadcasting. We'll be right back.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with Freedom Train.
When you're ready,
ServPro, how can we help?
help gets there faster. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO and ServPro.com. Helping make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
Back here live, 1 to go at Daytona for the Scoops Ice Cream 200. I said right before we had that caution, Mark Jackson may have a chance of winning this race. We're going to have a restart here with 12 laps to go. And look who is out front. I told you to get your updated running order. It's going to be Mark Jackson out front. William E. Moore is going to start to the outside of him, and Jack Watts, the Southeast Motorsports teammate there in the 66 machine, than the Mark Jackson machine. So we should expect the two teammates to hook up. Then Eric Stanford, they're starting fourth. David Wright in the number 42, that's the highest he's been all night. Same story for Mark McFadden in the number 6 machine, and Ray Richard, first car on 4 brand new Goodyear Eagles. So we should expect, he told me, he's going to make some very brash moves here, so we should see some good racing here. Shane Parrish in 8th, William Davis and Gary Sexton round out your top 10. Russ Coe, Joe Johnson, Jeff T. Martin, and Jeremy Crandall round out your top 14, the drivers who are on the lead lap. Here they come to the start-finish line. It's going to be a quick green flag here. We're back underway at Daytona, and your two teammates there on the bottom get together and start working well. And I'll tell you what, the old partners of Eric Stanford and the 58 of William E. Moore are back together there on the top side of the racetrack.
Yes, sir, Gabe. I tell you what, this is going to be a very exciting final 11 laps now. The teammates are working on the low side, and it looks like we've only got 2 cars on the outside to make that run. That would be William E. Moore and Eric Stanford. They've been working together all night long, but don't look now. We got Ray Richard in that Scoops vanilla ice cream, Breyers flavored 44 Camaro. I tell you what, I want to get a bite of ice cream right now. If he can get to the back bumper, or if somebody else jumps up front to get that outside lane, that could help.
He jumped to the top side, 11 laps to go here. We're going to be 10 to go when they get back to the stripe. He would jump to the top and nobody went with him. Now if he had just waited, here comes the 67 of McFadden. He's trying, look at him, he's just kind of moving to the top, waiting for the 42 to go with him. They're still side by side up front. There goes the 67. He says, screw it, I'm going without you. Goes to the top. So your 3 drivers there on the top. William E. Moore, Eric Stanford, and the 67 of Mark McFadden. Ray Richard drops back a few positions there. Could not get in line. Now he's going to drop to your final car on the lead lap. Oh, as they wreck in front of a big wreck.
Yes, fans, give us about 3 seconds. We'll pull that replay up. It definitely looks like it was involved in the top group of 5 cars. And as everybody says, this changes everything.
42 drifted up. What an odd incident. What was he trying to accomplish there? Kept drifting up the racetrack. I don't know what he was trying to accomplish there, but he ends up spinning the 24 and himself. Also collecting the 81. And Ray, I think the racing gods just kind of smiled on you there, didn't they?
Yeah, I got to agree with you, Gabe. I heard you talking there for a little bit. I did jump out way too early, and I kind of wish I waited a little bit longer and got some momentum up. But I'll tell you what, this definitely is going to help our chances a lot. I've got no worries about fuel. I still got some 4 fresh tires. They've only got about 2 laps on them, and boy, we're ready to go, man. This is time to go.
Yeah, give me a second, guys, as I go over this review.
All right, we're going to let Robert get done with his review, and I tell you what, let's give me just 2 seconds, Ray, if you want to talk to these people just for a second. Let's see if we can dial up Mark Jackson.
Yeah, everybody, right now from the driver's seat, I'll tell you what, this is definitely a fast race. You got to really think on your feet a lot. When I took the 4 tires, actually, one thing that I tried to do is I thought, am I going to make it out in front of anybody? But Eric Stanford and also the 42 of David Wright got out before me, and they took no tires, but they only started just in front of me. So the 4 tires, I don't know how much an advantage they're going to be, but it allows me to do a little side drafting, kind of keep things steady and watch out for everybody else. Gabe, you're back here, buddy.
Well, for the first time tonight, we got 2 drivers in the booth. We got Mark Jackson. Mark Jackson, you got a copy?
Hey, Gabe.
All right. So not 2 seconds before Curtis Young and Andrew Kessler's wreck, I predicted you to win the race. And that caution allowed you to get to the lead. You got your teammate there of the 66, Jack Watts. And you Southeast Motorsports guys, you're really unstoppable here on the plate tracks. You think you can get it done?
Well, we've had this race marked on the calendar for quite some time. You know, honestly, we've had to have a little bit of luck tonight, and so far we've managed to keep our car clean, stay out of trouble. Man, I'll tell you what, the heartbeat is racing about 180 beats a minute right now. Trying to bring it home. If we can bring us home a win right here, that would put us in the chase. That's kind of what we're hoping for in the number 3 iRacing Paints and Designs, over the top paints, Chevrolet Camaro.
Yep, make sure you throw those sponsors in there that get you painted up, and that paint scheme, maybe, just maybe, here we should get the one to go this time by, or maybe next time by, but maybe, just maybe, Mark, if you can keep it out front, you'll bring a somewhat black number 3 back to victory lane at Daytona.
I'll tell you what, we're really hoping so. Got to give a hats off out here to William outside. He's drove a really good race, and it's a shame to see Curtis have bad luck there. We were running good together, just kind of running along with those guys. Try not to push too hard. These bumpers don't seem to line up very well, and so we learned that in practice. We had a lot of track time tonight, so just hoping for a good finish. Maybe we can have it clean and green to the end and bring home a good race for Domino's and this number 3 team.
I don't think it's the fact that the bumpers don't line up. I think it's the fact that you have the saddest excuse for a spoiler I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to see when you're behind someone. You're behind it. So.
Yeah, no downforce there. A little spoiler there on the back, but yeah, still awful to see. I mean, they've cut down the downforce. It makes exciting racing, though. So, Mark, you should believe we're at 2 to go. Can you confirm that to us?
Yeah. You know, coming down the backstretch here at Daytona, this iconic racetrack, it's one of those races you really want to win, especially here in Domino's. Some of the best drivers in iRacing in this series, and hope we can pull it off, man. We're gonna cinch your belts tight one more time and see if we can bring it home.
So much history at Daytona as they go through turns number 3 and 4. Mark, I want to thank you. As you're passing by the side of the speedway that faces Daytona Beach, including the Streamline Hotel where NASCAR was founded, where all of our hopes and dreams really started here in Daytona. This is where it all started. For Mark Jackson, this might be where it starts for the chase for 2017. Mark, we want to thank you, and I tell you what, have a good race.
Thank you, buddy. Hope we can put on a good show for the fans out there and bring it home to the end.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Gabe. Real quick, I think this would be an opportune time. Domino's driver profile, that number 3 Chevy of Mark Jackson. He is from Wichita, Kansas. His main team is Over the Top Paints and Pad. People against distracted driving fans, do not drive distracted tonight, tomorrow, anytime. He's been in sim racing 17 years. He has raced a lot of local street class races, bracket racing. He's got 40 wins. That's probably a lot more than that now, and 772 starts on iRacing. He's got 200 top 5s in iRacing. He wants to give special thanks to John Hendrick, who's the amazing painter of these over-the-top paints, his fiancee Kristen Phillips, and Southeast Motorsports. Awesome to see him on the pole here for the restart, and hopefully bring it home with a win.
Well, a little bit of info from inside the car here real quick. My temperature has gone from 220 on the water all the way down to 160, so I'll tell you, I don't know how cool it is out there right now, but clean air is definitely where it's at to keep things cool. Of course, you want a little bit of temperature in these motors, but right now I'm reading 160 on my gauge. I'm sure it's going to change in the next 2 laps.
They're going to come to green this time by, Ray. You may want to clutch it there, get that oil temperature up a little bit as well. Get that engine warmed up and let that oil do its job, lubricate everything. Make sure that your car can make it to the end of tonight's race with the maximum amount of horsepower it's got. Ray, we're going to let you do your job here. Starting 7th. Good luck to you.
Thank you, guys. Let's get it.
Coming to the green flag here. I tell you what, We're going to close in on this finish here. It'll be the final restart of the night here on lap number 75. We'll get one more green flag lap. The race will be official. Racing to lap number 80. Let's do an all-pro broadcasting. Crank it up here from Daytona. Mark Jackson and William E. Moore go to the line.
I tell you what, Gabe, this is going to be amazing. The last 4 laps, 5 laps. These guys are going to do everything they can to get the position to win this race, and hopefully they will race this race clean. These are some of the top drivers in iRacing here at Dominance TYJ, like Mark Jackson just said, and he has got the vantage point to win this race. They're going to have to beat him on the outside.
Back up front, Southeast Motorsports teammates racing each other for the win here at Daytona. This is not what I expected. Jack Watts jumps to the top side. He hasn't won all year. He's going to try and get out front here. Can he get pulled up in front of Mark Jackson? He will. The Southeast Motorsports drivers flip-flop there. On the front, a little bit of contact between the 58 in turn number 1. This race is official. Let's see who can make it to the checkered flag. Look back here. Ray Richard racing William Davis, and Gary Sexton gets around Sexton there for the 5th spot, or at least he's trying to there. Sexton all by himself there. Mark Jackson now goes to the top side up front. He's going to leapfrog into the lead with help from William E. Moore. Will he wait for the 58 to drop down? The 58's going to drop down anyway, so he had enough of a run. So your Southeast Motorsports teammates, the 66 and the 3, racing each other. This is some great racing up front coming to 4 laps to go. A little bit of contact between William Davis and Ray Richard there as they go through turns number 3 and 4, coming to the tri-oval. 4 laps to go here from Daytona. Now the 58 jumps to the top side with help from William Davis. This is some great racing for the lead. This is what we wanted to see all night. Now, 4 cars racing each other, top and bottom. It's going to be a shootout here for the win. Mark Jackson on the bottom. William Davis on the top side. Or excuse me, William E. Moore and William Davis, they're pushing on the top side. Let's see who can get the most momentum and who can get up front.
I tell you what, we got Gary Sexton in that 3rd position on the outside line. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 car battle for the lead. And they're almost going through what we have got. Russ Coe in that trailer trash lot 420 up here in the top 10. He's out.
Oh, Jackson gets a little bit loose.
No problem.
Mark Jackson gets a little bit loose now. 3 wide for the lead. William E. Moore stuck in the sucker hole. He's trying to pinch off the number 3 machine. This is going to break up your top pack. They're 3 wide for the lead. William E. Moore up into the outside wall. He gets collected. Caution is out. Race is over with. And it's going to be Mark Jackson taking home the victory. The 58 got way too aggressive. They were trying to pinch him off, and he pushed up to the outside, tried to get up in front of the 11, and wrecked everybody behind him.
Yes, sir, fans, we're definitely going to get this replay pulled up to get this finished real quick. Give us just 1 second, and then we're going to have your interviews with the top 3, and we're also going to let you know who wins the free large 3-topping Domino's pizza in just a minute.
We're going to have your interview with the top 3, and I think that's going to include Ray Richard. How do you get through that one? We're going to get the replay up here for you and get the results here. They're going to come to the white flag next time by here at Daytona. We're going to end under caution. It's going to collect. Ray Richard did get involved in that, but Sexton, the 420 of Russ Coe, and I believe it's the 15 of Jeff T. Martin also caught up in it. So everybody from, 3rd on back was really caught up in that one. And Jeremy Crandall goes from being wrecked to 4th inside the top 5. Robert, that had to be one of the greatest finishes I've seen at Daytona. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go to the end, but Mark Jackson gets, and he punches his ticket to the chase. We're going to come to 1 lap to go, so all he's got to do is run these laps out. And he will be your winner here from Daytona. Ray, the seas parted, kinda. You didn't get caught up in that, but you kept the car straight. Good job, bud.
I know we're kind of waiting for interviews, but let me tell you something. That 4 tires just paid off. I turned on, kept my foot right in it. I turned the wheel back straight, and the thing just shot right past that.
Ray Richard with his, I believe that's your best career finish.
Yes, sir.
Ray Richard notched his first top 5, I believe, as well for the year. See, Ray, what happens whenever you got a fast car. I know you were proud to finish at top 10 with a beat-up car in Martinsville, but I think that's got to feel pretty good, too.
Yeah, Martinsville is a little bit different, but we got, it was top 10, but we actually finished the race at about a 45-degree angle because everything was bent up at that point in time. But, boy, we had the wheel 90 degrees, and the thing kept straight all the way around the last 5 laps. But this one here, we worked for it.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and do the interview because we got you caught up. We've been talking to you all night. We saw you racing there. What'd you think was going to happen there if we went green flag?
You mean the final green flag, the restart there, bud?
Well, if they didn't wreck there, what were you expecting to see? William Davis go to the lead maybe? Because he had the run going.
I was watching William Davis for the longest time. I mean, we've been trying to get to his bumper, and obviously Eric Stanford's been pushing him most of the night. And Eric kind of had a little bit of a dance going there. We tried to keep in line, but if I could get around Eric, I was going to try to push a 58 for all it was worth. And obviously here at Daytona, you want to try to slingshot the end. I wasn't planning on doing that. But again, earlier, these guys that were ahead of me didn't take any tires, just a splash and go. We took all 4. And again, back to the incident that just happened, man. We just turned the wheel, kept the foot on the floor, and went straight. And the minute the caution came out, we were 3rd. So we were just trying to shovel up through the pack. I wasn't going to make it 3 wide no matter what was going to happen, but just looking for a hole as best as possible. Man, I'm real happy about tonight.
Mark Jackson coming to the line. 3 poles, 2 top 5s, but no wins. That ends tonight. Mark Jackson will be in your 2017 chase for the championship. He punches his ticket here at Daytona. It's going to be his teammate Jack Watts right behind him, and Ray Richard, you're talking to him right now. He gets it done in the 3rd spot. Joe Johnson finishes in 4th. William Davis in the 5th position after being caught up in that. And Robert, how did Josh Bonwell finish 6th? He was 3 laps down at one point.
I tell you what, I did not see that coming. As far as Josh Bonwell being a couple laps down, coming up to 6th, great run for him. Great run for all the top 10 finishers here. It's pretty amazing.
Fellas, just so you know, the last bunch of laps, I wasn't going to say a word because I was more or less holding my breath and keeping my knuckles on the wheel. I'll tell you what, iRacing, fantastic job. I mean, I don't know what it feels like in real life racing at Daytona, but I'm going to tell you what, it was white knuckle all the way here, and I was watching everything I possibly could. What a fantastic, fun evening.
Well, as we sit here, these drivers are going to burn it down on the front straightaway. It's going to be Mark Jackson burning it down and doing the Dale Earnhardt burnout. That's a nice touch there. Taking it in the grass, doing a few donuts there in the infield at Daytona. His teammate finishes in the 2nd spot. He's already parked up there on the front straightaway, so let's go ahead and talk to the driver who finished in 2nd. Robert, you caught up with the driver who finished in the 2nd spot, Jack Watts.
How you doing, bud?
Jack Watts, great 3rd place finish. 2nd place there. You were running great. You and your teammate, I tell you what, Southeast Motorsports, every single time you guys show up. And this is from the bottom of my heart. I met you guys quite a few months ago, and you are some of the greatest drivers we've seen here at Domino's TYJ Racing, especially on the plate tracks. So I can give you all the kudos I can think of. You did a great job here tonight. You almost had the win. I tell you what, that move you made with about 3 to go shocked everybody up here in the broadcast booth. I'm pretty sure I'm speaking for Gabe and Ray. Unfortunately, the momentum fell out, and caution came out, and your teammate Mark Jackson got the win. I'm sure you're not too disappointed, but how was your race, and what could you done different to win it?
Well, that was actually planned for me to move out. I did that on purpose because if my teammate would have went along with it, one of us was going to win no matter what. And the way it played out, we ended up getting lucky, getting 1st and 2nd, and that's the way it played out that way. So luckily we didn't get wrecked out and get it differently, but we're just happy to be here, having a good time with Domino's TYJ. I mean, it was a great race. Everybody was racing really clean until when it wasn't time, and then we started pushing, and everybody was still as clean as they could be, but it was really fun.
Hey, appreciate it, Jax. Congratulations. Who all would you like to give thanks to tonight for your second place finish? Excuse me. That's is that your top finish so far in 2017 with Domino's TYJ Racing?
Oh, no. My first one was the first Daytona race when I pushed Curtis Young to the win. And I think I had another top 3 in here. But I want to thank, first and foremost, my woman for putting up with me doing this all the time. Next, my team, Southeast Motorsports. I mean, I try harder because I'm with this team. And thanks for Domino's for putting this on. It's really a good thing.
Hey, I appreciate that. We always got to thank our women. I tell you what, let's be honest, guys. Women, we love you all. And thanks for letting us do what we do. We love to do a couple of nights a week. Congratulations, Jack Watts. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, sir. You guys too.
I think now we've got Gabe or Ray have caught up with our winner, Mark Jackson. Either one of you take it away.
Well, I talked to him earlier, and I'm the one who predicted him to win. And the 3 Machine brought it back to victory lane, did some burnouts in the infield. Mark Jackson, you take that 3 car back to victory lane.
Heck yeah, Gabe! Woo! Yes! Oh my God, we're so fired up down here in this pit. Awesome race, man! What 3 freaking wide? Oh my God! Woo!
What is it? They're taking your car to Daytona, USA? I don't care. They can have it.
That's right. They're going to put it in the Hall of Fame or something. I don't know. Put confetti all over it. Let them have it. We're happy because, man, we punched our ticket tonight.
Well, you came in with your only hope being really Daytona. It was your best bet at getting the win, and you come away with it. And Jack Watts said you guys had a pretty good plan there. Hop to the outside. At least get one of you in the chase, and it ended up panning out.
Yeah, absolutely have to give props to my teammate, my Southeast Motorsport teammate, Jack Watts. You know, we were kind of game planning all day on how we would run this race, and I was a little bit surprised they were talking about not qualifying. I said, man, I got to try to qualify up front and stay up there, and that was kind of the plan all along. Oh, man, I am sweating. I'm shaking. This incredible 3 wide there at the finish. Just crazy. What a race.
Now, I've run Daytona many a times in my years on iRacing. And the one thing you do not want to see is the driver on the outside of you door banging you while you're trying to slap it off the apron. I think that that had to notch up the intensity just a little bit, saying, come on, William, please don't do this to me.
Yeah, I felt him out there. I saw, I felt it touch. My spotter actually called us 3 wide. I knew it was going to be tight. And then the next thing I know, I'm looking at my mirror, and they're wadding them up there back there with 2 to go. And we got it in the bag.
Ooh, well, Mark, you bring it home to victory lane. You get the 3 on top of the scoring pylon again at Daytona. Who got it done for you?
Well, I have to thank, first of all, my sponsor, John Hedrick. Catch him on Facebook, iRacing Paints and Designs, over the top paints and designs, Loose Lug Nuts Paint Shop. Got to thank my family. Got my granddaughter here watching, my son, and my fiance. I do believe she picked me to win a pizza, so that might be a double bonus. And
my grandbaby prayed.
I have to thank, one thing I want to give a special shout out to my buddy Michael D'Amico and Michelle McMaster Eisenhower for this anniversary of them losing their son. They're in our thoughts and prayers. May God be with them on this week. Last but not least, my teammates at Southeast Motorsports. Man, without Jack Watts pushing me tonight and doing what we did, this wouldn't be possible. And above all, thanks to Domino's. This is an incredible league to race in, incredible series, incredible drivers here, and to pull off a win, it makes it really special. And we're going to be a little bit hoarse.
Gabe, I got to interrupt you here. Mark, dude, great win. I only had a chance to talk to you just this time, man, but I just want to say pull off a fantastic win this evening. You drove a heck of a race, buddy.
Thank you, Ray. Damn good job bringing home third, man. That was a fight to the end, definitely. And Wow, just what a race! Like I say, I'm shaking in my boots right now.
I think this has got to be the first time. I think it's got to be the first time we've had an actual victory lane behind the driver as he's being interviewed.
Oh yeah, the kids are loving it. They're having a blast. So, it was a choice between watching the Cowboys play or watching me race, and they picked to watch this race here in Domino's TYJ.
Well, I mean, to be fair, who wants to watch the Cowboys play?
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
I do.
No,
I'm
I
sorry.
was just gonna say, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah, how about them Cowboys?
Hell of a job.
Mark, you did a great job holding them off here. Congratulations. But I tell you what, Domino's don't close for a couple more hours. Get you a few pizzas, get you a couple of Cokes or Pepsis or something, and spray them all over the house.
When we go get that thing, definitely we'll be posting up the pics for all the fans out there on Facebook and any of those drivers out there that are interested in racing in a great league. And every once in a while, you just might even win you a pizza.
All right, Mark, congratulations. We'll let you go and actually celebrate because we can hear them behind you.
Oh, yeah. Heck, yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
It's Mark Jackson, the winner of the Scoops Ice Cream 200 here. And I tell you what, before we close out tonight's broadcast, Robert, can you confirm, did Mark's family win the pizza?
Stand by, Gabe. I think he's having a little discussion here in the iRacing room with a little discretion, but we're figuring that out. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to know the answer to that right offhand, but just give him 1 minute if you would, bud.
Yep. All right. Well, Ray, final thoughts from you. I know you were pretty much commentating and driving at the same time. Difficult thing to do, but you end up coming home with a third place. But what was your outside perspective of all that?
Couple things. First of all, if I'm going to be announcing while I'm in the car and get a top 3 every time, I want to continue announcing in the car. Number 2, it seems like these guys, when we have a challenging racetrack, and especially tonight when these cars dance, there's a little bit more dancing with these cars, so everybody's a little more cautious. But when we get pushing at the end, they actually have to drive these a little bit more. And again, I am not that good. I will take a little bit of luck tonight, gain the top 5 in the podium finish. But it seems like it's a little more exciting when the cars are a little bit more looser. And I'll tell you what, tonight was absolutely zero exception. A lot of fun, a lot of traffic to go around. And I'll tell you at the end, what a shootout. It was so much fun.
All right, Robert, you got a copy on us?
Yes, sir. I'll tell you what, I might have missed some of what Ray just said. Ray has had a lot going on in his life lately. But, Ray, how in the world did you pull off that third place finish? You might have already said it, but give me a real quick summary.
All good, Robert. I understand things are going on. But one thing I'll tell you right now, obviously I kind of kept in the throttle all night. And what I've been hearing with those guys talking, my fuel mileage definitely wasn't there. So I'm kind of glad what little cautions did happen. And there was a lap, by the way. I do apologize for kind of getting out in front of everybody. I'll completely admit that. I know there's a separate incident that happened, but regardless, a couple guys forgave me. We ended up kind of staying towards the front all night. Obviously, that did help. And one thing I did during the last pit stop, I grabbed 4 tires, especially under caution. And a couple guys that were in front of me went out with no tires, and I basically ended up in the same position. So during that last wreck that we had, I think it was a 17 that got into me. Unfortunately, he got caught up in that wreck. He touched me. I just turned the wheel straight and punched it. Those 4 rubbers just gripped the track, and, man, it straightened right out, and it felt great all night long. I'm so happy to be in the top 3. I really appreciate what you guys do every week. It's a lot of fun.
All right, Ray. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's close out the broadcast here. Robert, did Mark Jackson's family win the pizza?
Absolutely. It looks like Kristen Phillip. Well, hold on. Give me a second. She definitely was the pick on my phone. I got to go back here on the live chat. I don't want to cheat anybody out who might have picked the number 3 before 9:12, which is when she made her pick. It looks like right now we've got 9:07. Not a pick. 9:03. Jeff Martin pick. 8:56. Curtis Young pick. Hold on. It looks like 9:08. We've got Ray Richard pick. Mark Jackson. Wait a minute. Oh my goodness, this is getting crazy. We got 9:09. Wait a minute. 9:09. Michelle McMaster picks Mark.
What'd you say,
So
Mark?
it looks like Michelle picks Mark about 3 minutes before Kristen does.
Mark, is that anybody in your family?
Let me double check.
As far as I know, that is Michael D'Amico's ex. That's Tanner Eisenhower's mom, you know. And if that's the case, the pizza couldn't go to a better person.
All right. Well, we'll confirm it there, but we do have confirmed winner for tonight's pizza, and you mentioned this is kind of a week of remembrance for Michael D'Amico's son. I've just been informed. I'm looking at the news right now. The racing community's lost somebody else.
Yes.
Motorcycle legend Angel Nieto passed away on Thursday today, about 8 hours ago. He was a 13-time world MotoGP champion. Ended up getting killed, so unfortunate for him and his family. So thoughts and prayers are also with them. But a great race here at Daytona. Mark Jackson comes away with a victory. Say goodbye to the people, Mark.
Everybody out there in the iRacing world watching here on YouTube and watching this Domino's race, incredible. Just glad to bring home the win, and honestly really glad to know that Michelle gets her a Domino's pizza. I hope she enjoys that thing. And once again, thank you guys for putting on a wonderful race. Just really proud to be a part of this deal and punching our ticket to the chase.
With Mark Jackson's victory, Robert, you want to say something real quickly?
Yeah, I was going to say congratulations, Mark. We love your enthusiasm. You and your fiance and everybody else have a great weekend. Gabe, close it out for all of us.
Well, from everybody here at All Pro Broadcasting, we want to congratulate Mark Jackson and the entire Southeast Motorsports team and the entire house of people behind him, also celebrating the victory of Mark Jackson. This has been the Domino's TYJ Premier Xfinity Series Scoops Ice Cream 200 live here from the Daytona International Speedway from the World Center of Racing. This has been the Domino's TYJ Series, and I tell you what, it's been one heck of a race. We'll be back on Wednesday with the Truck Series, but until then, we want to thank you for joining us, and good night. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo!
The big boys club, nobody does it quite the way a CLT does. Clean in, clean out, the boys are the best, and they'll be coming for your shells in the deck. So if you see a fall man coming with guns, you better reconsider whose side you're on. These boys are ghosts, team of the Reaper, and they'll be more than happy to deliver you back to your maker. They don't do it for the money, they do it for the country. It's not about the fame. They do it for the, they do it for the, they do it for the USA. Because the only easy day was yesterday. Come on! They don't do it for the money, do it for the country. It's not about the fame. They do it for the, they do it for the, they do it for the USA. They do it for the